Testing, testing.
Everybody, and Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Okay, Hope? Here. Charlotte?
Here.
Mike Jones? Randy? Here. Kim?
Here.
Barbara?
Here.
Gretchen?
Here.
Is there anybody I missed? Oh, Mr. Yeager.
Here.
Okay. Chris is not here. Justine?
I don't think she's going to make it.
Sarah? Angela? And that's it.
Okay. We have the minutes of May 28th, 2024 for approval. Anybody care to make that motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a line report on the planning board. Gretchen made an excellent analysis of it for the board. We did approve the applications by Lemaire. They are actually, they're tearing down a complete wing of their building and replacing it in kind with 51 units, and they're also adding a meeting, an event center to be utilized on a seasonal basis. Gretchen's report, I'm going to read it in here. Although we commend the use of many native plant species in the landscape plan, we recommend finding native alternatives to the 408 Narope, Muscari, and 83 de la Sperma cooperi.
Ice plant.
Delosperma.
We suggest the development of a more detailed recycling plan that addresses demolition waste as well as more detail on the post-construction handling of recyclables generated by the event center. And we request the development of an outdoor lighting plan that incorporates dark sky approved lighting sources. This was read into the record, and so now they agreed to do all of this, which is what they usually do. They read it into the report. So thank you, Gretchen, for that. Next up on the agenda is, Mike, you have anything you want to say?
No,
Okay.
nothing.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and you can start and say what you want to have on the community solar. Go ahead. And what was your name again?
Jenny Schneider.
Thanks, Jenny.
Jennifer. Nice to meet you all. And I'm sorry if there's any miscommunication.
Please talk into the mic.
My
Just
apo-
take it with you.
Sure. Oh, I didn't realize it was mobile. I apologize. Is this okay? Sure. Okay, great. So again, apologies for any miscommunication. Justin Riggs communicated that I guess there was questions when you last met about community solar. I had a few weeks or months ago presented with the Green Team by introduction of Jim Rutella. We are a community solar company based in Asbury Park, so we've worked with dozens of municipalities on community education and outreach for community solar, and in partnership with Jim Rutella. So I brought a few copies of the letter. I actually watched your last Environmental Commission meeting on YouTube, and I saw that this was actually read aloud, which was wonderful, but we helped facilitate this mailing from the mayor and city council, letting residents know about the opportunity to subscribe to community solar projects. And this outreach and education qualifies for up to 25 points as a Sustainable Jersey action. So we are helping the city, and especially the Green Team, of course, earn up at the minimum 15 points for the municipally supported community solar action as an outreach ambassador, as the Sustainable Jersey calls it. And I recently presented about a month or so ago with ANJEC as well about community solar and the different types of outreach that municipalities have done. So I applaud Cape May for following in those footsteps of other municipalities and letting your residents know about this opportunity. And I also brought about 100 or so flyers that you could give out at Harbor Fest this weekend, should any residents be interested and have questions to learn more. There's the Cape May City invite code listed on here, as well as a QR code where folks can go to sign up. And this brings folks the higher discount percentage, 25%, when they sign up in partnership with the city. But I also brought about 50 copies of statewide information for projects that are eligible for residents throughout the state, not just those residing in Cape May, in case any visitors at Harbor Fest would also like to learn more. And yeah, sure. I encourage you to, whoever may be sharing this information, to take photos and share it with the Green Team so that it can be included as part of the municipally supported community solar action. So that's a bit of why I'm here and why I was invited to be here, but I know you already had a background on community solar, so I know you have a lot to get to in your agenda, so I'm really here to answer any questions you may have, or I can start from the beginning.
Where's the solar array actually?
The solar array that residents in Cape May can subscribe to is located in Millville, New Jersey, on a warehouse rooftop. So what we do is we rent the we become a tenant on a large warehouse rooftop that's already existing, or a storage rooftop, and we build the solar farm on that existing rooftop, and then we're allowed to interconnect the project to Atlantic City Electric's power grid, and then we can sell discounted community solar credits to those who can't go solar on their own home, or maybe don't even own their home. So for example, I'm a renter in an apartment building, and I can subscribe to one of our local community solar projects in Monmouth County where I live. So it's especially great for folks in the historic district who might not be able to put traditional solar panels on the roof, but I did listen to your last meeting and heard the great technologies on the solar shingles that are becoming more popular, which is great. So this is a great option for those who either can't put solar on their own homes or can't afford to. So they can have a portion of the savings associated with the project. And this is a New Jersey Board of Public Utilities approved and regulated program. So all projects, including the Millville project that Cape May residents can currently subscribe to, are Board of Public Utilities regulated, so it's guaranteed to be a savings. And there will be more projects throughout Atlantic City Electric territory in the coming year for residents to enroll to, but this is the first project that's available for Cape May residents.
Did you say you wanted to present something?
I brought a full presentation just in case folks didn't have a background on community solar or wanted to learn more about all we do, including our workforce development programs, but I understand I'm not on the agenda and you have a lot to go over, so I could always share that as an additional resource or come back another time should residents have questions.
Why don't we just ask questions, because I think we've got a lot we want to talk about.
Understandable.
Is much of that information included in the flyers that you brought?
Yes, that has a great overview on how the program works and the opportunity for residents, but really the action for Sustainable Jersey, which I also printed a copy of, it has a great outline as well, and Cape May should, through your efforts, get the minimum 15-point level, but should you be interested in going up to the 25-point action, that's where we can partner together with our workforce programs for any residents that might be interested in learning about careers in the solar industry and how to actually install solar projects on rooftops. So that's a popular program we have, and we've actually been recognized by both the state and federal government with an Equitable Workforce Development Award from the Department of Energy. So we're really proud of that and would be happy to partner further with the city if interested.
What building in Millville are you on top of?
Yeah.
I don't have all of our projects memorized off the top of my head, but I do know we have a project in Egg Harbor Township on Delilah Road, but that one is not currently eligible for Cape May residents because this gets a little into the details, but under the first 2 years of the BPU's pilot program, you could only be eligible for projects in towns where you bordered by sharing municipal borders or by county borders. So the Millville project we had was eligible for folks in that county and surround bordering counties, but the Egg Harbor Township project was only eligible for residents of Egg Harbor Township and bordering municipalities like Atlantic City, for example. So in all projects moving forward, the Board of Public Utilities adopted permanent program rules this past August, and residents will be able to subscribe to projects throughout Atlantic City Electric territory. So it'll increase the availability for even more residents who are interested to benefit.
Am I reading this correctly, that if one exceeds the income listed, that they're ineligible to participate?
No, sorry. So by the state program rules, 51% of each project's capacity is set aside reserved for those that qualify as low to moderate income. However, it's open to folks of all incomes. It's just that 51% of the project is set aside where you have to qualify. So the information that was shared there was for this current project, and those were the state income levels. But since that was put out, the state has since updated it to be county income limits for all projects moving forward. So come the new year with new projects, this, I'll share this. This is a handout of what the self-attestation of income will look like. I printed a few copies. So it'll be just slightly lower for Cape May County as opposed to the statewide average as it currently is.
But then 49% of subscribing residents can be at any income?
Correct.
So how do you evaluate the economics? So I decide I don't want to put panels on my house, but I would want to do this. Generally, as somebody who goes into this program, what's the premium or the discount, compared to straight Atlantic City Electric? Is there a number that you know is true, or? Is it
So
vary?
what's locked in is what's on the Cape May flyer is a 25% savings. So it's 25% of the community solar farm that's assigned to your household. So we take a look at what your household approximately uses in the prior calendar year. The average household uses about 7,500 kilowatts annually. So let's say the Smith household uses about 7,500 kilowatts annually. We allocate that amount of the production the solar project will make in a year to your household, and then it's a 25% savings on that amount. So it's guaranteed to be a savings. It's different than third-party energy in that it doesn't fluctuate the cents per kilowatt. It's guaranteed to be a savings. Of course, the greatest savings is still having your own solar, where you can offset
Yes.
100% or even more of your usage. But this is a great alternative for a smaller savings, but a savings nonetheless for those who can't go solar or choose not to for various reasons.
So even if production is not quite what you expect, I mean, I have a business which is all solar, and, you have your months where it just doesn't produce very much, and other months where the meter spins like crazy. If you have a bad year, it doesn't affect the pricing then?
Correct. Even if the solar project produce absolutely zero power, you would pay the same as you normally would to Atlantic City Electric.
Sounds impressive.
That would be a
That's-
bizarre scenario, and I would be concerned
Yeah.
if the sun is gone.
Yes, no sun, yeah.
So if, using that number, that 75,000 watts, so it would be, your savings would be the equivalent of like using 50,000 watts. I'm doing simple math because that's all I can do.
I
Right.
think a better comparison would be,
100, not
let's
that.
say my Atlantic City Electric supply charge is $100. And let's say then, sorry, I was trying to think through your numbers, but I'll just go with the 100. That's okay.
Your numbers.
Let's say it's the 25% discount, then you
Okay.
would only owe a net $75 and you would save $25 should you not have been
okay.
on a community solar project. So currently that's the savings for this
Okay.
Millville project. But I also shared my information, so and I feel bad. I know you have a lot to get to, but I'm happy to answer any follow-up questions. And we also shared a lot of information as a further resource that was posted to the city's website. And my colleague Gina Villasus is listed as a contact should residents have individual questions on signing up, even if they want to call her for help with signing up. She is bilingual in English and Spanish, so she can even help residents who may predominantly only speak Spanish.
Anybody else have any more questions?
Sounds great. You've been spearheading this.
We have your information, so if we have some
Okay.
stuff that we want to bring you back, we certainly can,
Sounds great.
okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
Before we get started, Dave is from the rec department. Dave, you got anything you want to say? Because we didn't give you a chance to speak yet last week. No, okay. You're all right? Okay.
In the mic, though, please.
No, I'm okay.
All right, next up is the Harbor Fest. You want to take the lead on that?
Well, sorry that I've missed the last couple of meetings.
Before we get started, I got another banner made. So there's going to be, well, I don't know where the other one is. Who has the other one?
Was that Jennifer? Was that her board?
It was brought here during the last
I
meeting.
don't know where it is. I mean, this was made with the
Kim, do
new
you have
logo.
any of the banners at your house?
Just the one that was from the dark sky.
It's like this, it's like this.
Who took it home? This whole banner?
The mystery of the missing.
Yeah. All right.
We watched the meeting from last
Yeah, we did. One of
It was
us-
here last week.
Yeah,
It was
we
here last
brought
month.
it.
Oh, I wasn't here.
Charlotte, did you take it with you?
No. I brought it so that it could be used. Well, I'm glad that worked out, though, that we have the.
Well, anyway, so I had
Sit
it,
in
I had it
somebody's
made, now
office?
it's, put the invoice up to have it paid, we'll see how far that goes. And then we have whatever information she had on the community solar.
It looks like.
I brought something.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
This is solar shingle.
Oh, nice.
That can be displayed at the table about solar.
Wow.
So.
That's amazing.
Look at it. Here it is.
That's on your roof?
It's on the roof.
My goodness.
So now people can actually feel it, see it, know what it looks like, not be afraid of it.
What is it made of?
Glass.
Do you have
Really?
Do you have a photo of your house to put next to it?
That's a great idea. So I won't be at that booth, Sarah and Hope.
We're there,
are
yeah.
doing it, But I'm happy to send one over so it can be printed.
Can you, no, you don't have to do it now, but sometime before then, can you give us a basic how it works?
Yeah.
I learned how silicon works, but not how glass works.
So the photovoltaic capacity is just layered into the glass, and then the shingles are just installed, just like other shingles, staggered. And then on the back side are wires.
Ah,
How simple it is.
I have a couple of easels that maybe, we
great.
put next to each other. Is that heavy?
It's heavy, but it is shatterproof. So
Okay.
it would be great if we could display it.
I mean, yeah.
Because unfortunately, I'm going to be in San Diego this weekend, so
oh,
this is my grandson,
oh,
Nice.
we're really sorry.
and he's 3, so I got to go see him.
You got to go see him.
He was growing
I can
up.
relate.
It's such an amazingly simple technology, solar.
So I know we're going to need help, and we're having the 2 booths. Do we have somewhat an idea who's going to be manning them? Do we have an idea about that?
So far, we know Hope and I. If anyone else is available, just made the two of us.
And then I have a volunteer high school
Okay.
student helping me out at the e-waste table, but obviously.
Does this come in different colors?
Not at the moment. There are different, like faux styles though. So there are ones that are made to look like clay or slate, but that is the one that is supposed to approximate.
I guarantee people have not seen that.
That's amazing.
Guarantee they haven't seen it. That's nice.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool. Maybe we should take it to an HPC meeting at some point too.
What a good idea.
Okay, so, again, at Harborfest, I guess we have the two booths, right? And we're-
So
Go ahead.
there's what's happening in the street, which is by the city, and then what's happening on the Nature Center property, which the Nature Center has control of that. What's happening on our property is similar to what Ocean Fest was like the last few years. It's a environmental, it's like, I keep on saying it's a festival within a festival. So we have 10 exhibitors, which are environmental or civic type of organizations, and then we have 7 artists that are ocean-themed artists. So there's a lot going on our property, as well as the beer garden and the music. So I do see the Nature Center being kind of the hub of activity, and then going out in both directions are vendors along the street facing the harbor. The last I heard, the city had like 70 vendors out in the street, so it's turning into a pretty big thing. If you are coming to set up If you have tables, that would really help. I can give you chairs at the Nature Center, but tables are going to be in short supply. Now, the Environmental Commission and the Green Team at the Nature Center, is that 1 or 2 tables? 2 tables.
Side by side?
Okay. Okay. That's all I needed to know, really. And just, you will come in and setup starts at 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock to 9:30, and by 9:30, you want to get your cars off-site, and you can park, exhibitors can park on Pennsylvania Avenue. So the street right behind the Nature Center, you'll be able to park there. But you're probably in competition with all of the vendors on the street also parking back there. So
So this is
we have camp.
going
And
to be on the street?
I don't believe so. I think this will be at the solar
Okay.
table. that-
So we're inside the Nature Center.
On the Nature Center property.
And what's
then
going to be on the street?
The e-waste collection booth.
Is on the street? Okay.
Oh, okay. So we only need one table and an easel.
well, I can get you easels. I might be able to get you a table. I don't know.
Well, that's all right. I have a card table. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but we might be able to do table. Do an easel.
You'll be under a tent, too. We have our big tents that we use for summer camp, and that's where all the exhibitors are going, under the tents. I don't know if you needed solar, because you'll be in the shade, so could be a challenge. But the good thing is, where you're located, you can look up to our building and see our solar panels that we have on the back of the Welcome Center. We have camp until noon on Friday, so if you wanted to bring anything over ahead of time, it would have to be in the afternoon, probably best after 2:30, because we have to move all the picnic tables that are under the tents over to the beer garden. So nothing can go under the tents by exhibitors until say 2:30-ish on Friday. Otherwise, you have to do it Saturday morning.
Is there someplace we could store that panel between now and then, or should we bring?
Oh,
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah, I can put it in our classroom inside.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I know. Yep.
Paul, you want to say anything? I see you're here.
I did have, if you could, I have some flood brochure pamphlets, if I could drop off to you guys to hand out, that'd be great.
For which exhibit now? Which one are we talking about?
Just wherever you have information
all right.
going out. I'm not, just to get information about,
Do you have them around today, or?
yeah, I'll get them, I'm printing them now,
Okay, all right.
because I'm printing them out for
What are they about? Right.
just flood information. Just flood warnings. I mean, it's this part of the same newsletter that all the residents get in with their tax bills, but it's just good to pass out flood
Put
information.
them on both tables.
Yeah,
No problem.
that's fine. No, just really, if you guys needed anything, or, I mean, I think everything's moving
Have you
along.
seen one of those before?
I've seen them in the past. I don't know how effective they are, but they are. It's a very interesting and neat technology that's moving forward, and I think that they need to be out probably for a little bit longer to really see the test of time with them. But they're neat.
I think that's fascinating. Anyway. Anybody else have anything on Harbor Fest?
Have you seen one of these banners in this room?
Was this banner,
Just left
anybody
behind
pick
this
up an
one.
Environmental Commission banner that shouldn't have?
I have not. No, I mean, the clerk's office, I would check with the clerk's office
Or
or
Karen, maybe even Karen would have seen it.
Karen. I mean, I have to go see Karen right now, so I can ask her if she saw it, but
It was here last meeting, and somehow we had another one made up, and so we were going to have two, one for each one on the street, and now we don't know where the other one is.
I can ask around. Yep.
All right. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
So we're good on Harbor Fest? Dune Day, anybody have anything want to say about Dune Day?
I
October 6th.
have that flyer that I made for the event. I just wasn't sure if we want to move forward with that and then just get that printed, or the different places we put that for publicizing.
Anybody have any problem with that flyer?
It's a nice flyer.
I think I
like
had
it.
it somewhere.
Yeah, we made a few
So we can move
suggestions,
forward
and
with
then
that?
it.
Yeah, and I wasn't here
made and
last
it looked good.
Okay.
Great.
Where did we publicize things like that?
Where were they made, or?
Where do we publicize them usually, like our events?
Can you send it to David? Can you send it to the city?
You can send it to the Nature Center. We'll
Nature
put it on
Center.
social media and post it. I mean, we usually sometimes run ads in the Star and Wave. And there's so many, like, if it's a community event, there's so many different community calendars that you can get out there with the Chamber of Commerce, the city, the Discover Cape May, you know, the county chamber. Just get it out there to their calendars.
I'll give you the Garden Club address also, 'cause
Oh, great, thank you.
since,
And then the Star and Wave is running our other ads alternating weeks, but I told the John Kutza there that we would be subbing one out for this Dune Day flyer later in the summer.
Okay.
So,
Is that the invasive species one?
and the water conservation, like we did
It was
last.
printed.
Yeah, there.
Okay.
So, what date do you think we should switch one of them to be about Dune Day? I'll let him know.
6 one, half dozen the other, we could just do it whenever.
Mid-September,
Dune Day is.
September, right, sometime in mid-September.
Yeah, September.
a couple weeks before.
I would wait till September,
Okay.
don't you think?
Yeah.
Right now, they.
Yeah.
Doing
Somewhere
anything
in
about-
mind.
anything about
That's what-
this guy,
that's what-
remember?
yeah,
That's something
September's
else that
good.
We're working on.
Yes, sometime.
Maybe early September, so there's a month to,
So it's the week after Monarch Fest. So it's just a good place to get the word out to hundreds of people that attend Monarch Fest. And maybe get them to commit somehow, like a sign-up sheet.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Is there any kind of incentive, you know, at Dune Day? Come, I don't know. I would miss the meeting, so you get a sticker or a T-shirt or, you know, come to Dune Day.
Is there any way, could you do like an Evite with it, so that, you know, it's a free event, but then at least you capture?
On
Ever
a,
do
I mean,
anything like that? Is it work?
so is this the Environmental Commission hosting this?
Yeah.
I mean, we can do, through the Nature Center, we have Eventbrite where people can sign up, but you can do free events. Not many people, when they're free events, not a lot of people do sign up, but whatever. It is one way to do it. And maybe that is something like at Monarch Fest, you just have a small booth or something and get people to commit. Is that also, when's Columbus Day? Is that the Monday, or is it the next Monday that the schools will be out? The next one.
well, one of the things about Dune Day is we want people to come and plant dune grass, so that it's obviously to come and, you know, participate, but there's a lot of plants to put in, and what we want is that's what I'm saying about the garden club, we'll have the garden club do that. So not only do you want people to come down, you want them to bring trowels and knee pads and help actually put the dune grass in. So it's a little bit of both.
I think, you know, if the flyer's done, we get it out there, because I also know, like, the troop leader of the Boy Scouts, you know, they're probably setting up their calendar for the fall already, so I can email that to him, and the garden club could put it on their calendar. Everybody get it on their fall calendars.
Should do Cape May Cares
Send
as
it-
well.
You could send it now, I suppose. You could send it now to the contacts at the high school Key Club, National Honor Society. They all have to do community service. So you just get it out there. Because
You
once
also
school
have-
starts, like September, it's hard. You want to get it to them now. they're setting their calendars now.
Sarah, the Kiwanis Club has always been really helpful.
Right.
If you can go to one of their meetings and enlist their help.
Oh, thank you.
You also have the Oktoberfest, too, which would be a lot of people. I'm not sure you're able to get a table.
Yeah, that would be great.
I know it's through the chamber, but
Okay.
I've only been here 2 years, and I've never, both years I went to, it was incredible how many people showed up, so.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that'd be really good, yeah.
And then we are saying we want people to bring their own, you said trowels and things.
Yeah, if they have them. Usually somebody has a trowel, because yeah,
Okay. It's not on the flyer right now, so I'll have to add something like that in there.
okay.
I think I know where the banner is.
If you know that, could you look and see if you find the CCA
I
banner?
gotta find it, though, because I think I brought it to them to show what it was, but so now I gotta run it down. All right, hopefully they didn't get rid of it. Okay, I think I know where it is. So, I'll get it to everybody. Trying to think, I was about ready to make a phone call to them. What's that?
You're the same color as your
That's embarrassing, people. All right,
Don't worry.
okay.
No, it isn't.
Anybody, we done on the dark sky? We talked about that at all? We done with that one?
We haven't really talked, but I think Dave, so are we fine with the November 8th date? I think that's what we wanted to confirm.
Yeah, so if November 8th will be the best for a convention hall with space, because we have all the weddings going on, so that'd be the one day we can do it definitely there. And
Right.
have the community room plus the hall, I'm sorry, the little space. Yeah, not the actual hall inside itself, because we will be set up for a wedding. So we can't do it inside the hall, but everywhere else we can use that.
You mean the convention
So I have,
center?
yeah, so I have it on the counter there, so we have the spot held. I just want to confirm with everybody here. And then also, I was able to get in touch with two local groups. One was, I think, one of the people that Gretchen recommended, another was another local astronomy group. They're willing to do it for sure, but they take donations too. They're saying just for travel time and tolls, it might be like $200 per group. So you're talking about $400. So if you want to have them come, they'll bring the telescopes and guest speakers and so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. So that's a Friday, is that right? It is a Friday. Yeah, I mean, is that good
good?
for everybody else? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to talk about that article?
Very briefly, I'll continue to bring occasionally to this committee if I feel that they're relevant to our mission here. The November 28, 2023 article, very briefly, brought attention to a problem among organizations that are involved in climate change and its impact on health. Namely, it's called the Conference of Parties for Biodiversity, and a separate one, a Conference of Parties for Climate Change. These two large organizations, one met in Turkey, the other one in Dubai, and they don't share their information. That's just, so this article is bringing out the urgency, first of all, of climate change as it applies to human health, but also that like most large organizations, it's rife with inefficiencies. As a response to this article, they did make a recommendation to the United Nations Health Commission that they unify and combine the information and the data among the various international agencies involved in this field. The other article that I would touch on very briefly was the initial article by JAMA about the climate change series. It mentioned that the summer of 2023 was the hottest in recorded history in the Northern Hemisphere. That's saying something. That's really a significant statement. In this, the initial article, they mentioned that the effects of climate change on people's health and healthcare infrastructure will likely be greater than those from the COVID pandemic, and over time require monetary investments of similar magnitude as those managed HIV and AIDS. They conclude that this new series on climate change will inform readers about the associations between climate change and health, and it is intended to stimulate improved knowledge and understanding of the health effects of climate change to help foster commitment to timely action to prevent adverse health events from climate change. So I'll continue to bring in articles as I see. I brought one in today on infectious disease. Some of these organisms that we're seeing now, we're seeing in places that they didn't used to exist. And it's happening throughout the world. The number of pathogens and the type of pathogens is changing rapidly throughout the globe, and this article brings that to attention. So I'll continue to bring an article in occasionally as it pertains to our mission here in the Environmental Commission. Thank you.
Charlotte, you're up.
Sure, thank you. Recently, I have become aware that we have an outline for new strategies with an energy master plan by the state of New Jersey. And there was a quick review in one of our publications locally, and pretty much their opinion was that this new plan has some problems in terms of being able to afford the costs. So in terms of the history, I need to talk to you about master plan that we had in 2019, because that's the historical one. And this is what your commission wrote about that master plan in 2019. As the city of Cape May promotes itself as a more carbon neutral champion, the city's action master plan creates positive responses with federal, state, and municipal land use laws. So the main goal was to try to have renewable energy sources in various ways throughout the future. And it was cited that the municipal land use law in 1975 promoted renewable energy sources, also said on page 4, inherently beneficial means to try to value our community with solar or photovoltaic energy or wind structures, have green buildings that are environmentally sustainable, and that energy touches the lives of every New Jersey resident every day. In the city of Cape May, the priorities that we aggressively protect have been given positive recognition by the Sustainable Jersey program, a program which seeks to engage public participation in all green initiatives. Cape May City achieved High Regard Silver Certification Award 4 times, 2011, 2012, 2014, and 2017. Highlighting these achievements come from the efforts of dedicated citizens, business owners, the Green Team members, the Environmental Commission, and City Council. As responsible stakeholders, the City of Cape May remains committed to adhering the city's Green Building Resolution 1305-2011. Eligible improvements offer both environmental and economic benefits by stimulating job creation, positive leadership, and growing the Cape May green economy as important. Trending up and down the eastern United States is the resolve by many cities to use renewable energy for heating, cooling, electricity, and transportation as they see the escalation of traditional energy costs. These cities are prime examples. They also are cities that are on the National Register of Historic Places. They would be Burlington, Vermont, Concord, New Hampshire, Boston, Massachusetts, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Alexandria, Virginia, Hillsborough, North Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, and St. Petersburg. This city in particular has proposed an ordinance to require solar panels on all new homes and any roof repairs. Energy independence and tax savings. And so this report that we wrote goes on and on. You guys, I don't think you want me to read the rest of it. But it was important in 2019, and it's important today. So with all of that history, I'd just like to say that we need to have the opportunity to go forward with all of these wonderful ideas for using solar as much as possible, and that there will be a BPU meeting sometime toward the end of this month. And at that meeting, they will be looking for any kind of responses from we, the public, to reinforce what they're trying to say. I think the biggest problem that newspaper articles are trying to cite is that whatever has been proposed with this new energy master plan costs too much. The bottom line dollar. Now, on the docket for the agenda, Thursday, June 27th at 10 o'clock, the State of New Jersey BPU will be discussing that particular item as one of their agenda items. So I wanted to bring this all to you. This is very meaty, could take a few hours of your time. I wanted to break it down in just little pieces. And that's as much as I'm going to cover today. We can continue with the topic at another time.
Anybody else have anything they want to talk about? I'm trying to run down this, this banner. Okay, so I guess we're good.
Adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, never mind.
Just that the Star and Wave did publish both of these recently, one in one issue and one in the next.
Good.
So we have water conservation on June 19th that was covered, and we had invasive species on June 12th.
I have a question, too. Mike, you might be able to
Go ahead.
help me understand this. When we do our reviews and we make a recommendation and it goes back to the planning board, and then the developer agrees to the conditions, what's the follow-up? Because
It's like anything else that they've, of that application. If the engineer finds out that, or if somebody says that they didn't do anything as far as that application, including the comments, then the city construction department or their, I don't know, their arm that goes and follows up on stuff like this, then it's in their hands to say, that, all right, you have to do this.
So if we notice,
Bring it to the bring it to the attention of the construction department, or their, who would it be there, Mike? What do you think?
Well, I would probably, you mean enforcing that piece of it?
Whatever application.
I'm not exactly
Maybe your
certain.
engineer? I don't know.
I kind of would do that because he's also the city manager.
All right, I would contact,
But our Craig Hurlis,
that's what I'm talking about.
yeah, I think going to Craig Hurlis because he's,
Craig is our engineer, and believe me, he reads everything you put in there verbatim into the record.
but he also does a site visit. When properties are completed, Craig goes out and makes sure everything that he defined as being a requirement is done.
So I would suggest, if you go by something that you've already approved and they're not doing what we said they should be doing, just bring it back to me and I'll get it to Craig. And then Craig will follow up on that, okay? That's the only thing I can tell you.
It's good to know.
He may not be able to monitor how the demolition debris is handled. I'm not sure.
no, there's a couple of cases of the landscaping where it was my understanding they agreed to make the changes to use native plants, and they didn't. They just are not there. So they didn't do what they said they agreed to do.
Can you email me that? Can you
Sure.
email me that? And I'll just forward it to Craig and then we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, and he's got, he has an ability to get that corrected. That could be an expensive mistake, but we always get an enthusiastic response from the applicants, and in this case, they were very,
They're
they were
not doing
like
it.
fine
They
with
don't do
that.
They're not. A couple of the projects that I know that I reviewed made that recommendation. There's hydrangeas there, they're not the native plants. The one that, across from Riggins by Wawa, they agreed. I spent time with him driving around, showing him the shrubs. He might have put in like 1 or 2 inkberries, but everything else are the non-native plants that were on the original design.
I saw loosestrife in there, of
Our
all
com-
things.
our
No.
Your comments, our environmental commission comments are part of the record. I mean, it's part of the
Yeah.
approval.
But I'm not sure, Mike, I don't recall ever before it being a part of what they had to, the comments were read and reviewed, but
Well, then it's-
I think with the La Mer, it was the first time that that Craig and everybody said this must be done as part of the
The
plan.
resolution, as it's approved, is always conditioned upon
All of those
all of those things.
approvals.
It's all part of it. I mean, I can't tell you that it's written, it's read, and it's there. And so I guess what Craig will do is if we make a comment to him to say they didn't do this, he'll have to go back into the resolution to make sure that what was, look at what we had written, because that's the way I understand it happens, okay? Give me the email, and I'll send it to Craig, and it happens, it's a problem because enforcement is always a problem,
Yeah.
all right? And I can't, it just doesn't,
Unfortunately.
it's like anything that gets done in the city, enforcement's always an issue, all right? Who remembers what they said 2 years ago, all right, or whatever, or a year ago? But send me the email on the
Okay.
project, and I'll get it to Craig.
Can I renew my motion to adjourn? Okay, I renew my motion to adjourn.
All in favor? We're all good.
All right, please turn your mics off.